Greetings, this is the Timeshare Traveler. Today is episode 79, HGVMax owner update. This is happening in August of 2022, and the rollout is still planned to continue starting with in August of 2022. This is kind of the overview, and then I'll go into the details. I'll go through the new rules in the plan that I really like, and there's a gradual rollout of properties. I'll talk briefly about that. I'll talk briefly also about the 6-month availability of DRA and Hilton Grand Vacation properties, and if you're a Premier Plus, you do get 10 months. And I just recently upgraded to Premier Plus, and I'll go through what I did that. And then I have a last topic, and it's kind of an advanced topic about buying resale and then turning that into HGVMax. With that, let me tell you a little bit about my channel, and then I'll drop back into the details. Hi, my name is Cliff, and I'm the Timeshare Traveler. The purpose of this channel is to provide education and knowledge for those interested in timeshares. I've been a timeshare owner for over 15 years. I'm an elite owner with Marriott Vacation Club, Hilton Grand Vacations, and Worldmark by Wyndham. I've also posted over 70 timeshare video reviews of different locations, and I've posted 40 timeshare video tips. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button below, and I can be found at Timeshare Trav on Twitter and Facebook, and my website is www.timesharetraveler.com. Well, during my update, I got confirmed that this month is the month of the rollout. And the one thing I should say is this is not a big bang where everything happens all at once. It seems to be more of a feature rollout, similar to other websites. They add features as they go. And so I find that to be quite useful. They've already implemented some, so technically I guess it's already happened, but I did the $88 fee, and I did do a booking for Hawaii, and there was no fees, and it was less than a week booking. So it seems to be live even now, but there are other features that are more important are coming soon. And there's the first wave of the DRI locations, and supposedly that's August. And there's just I think there's like 4 to 6 of them, and then there's some later in 2022, and then some early in 2023. I think they're like 4 every quarter. I think that's a target. I don't know whether that will be met, but it was nice to know that it was a continuous thing, so things will get immediately available, and then they'll get better and better and better. The 6-month booking window is really cool, and it actually works out to be okay. I'm going to create another video because I'm actually a DRI owner as well, and I have some. I can show you some of what's available in the 6-month window, and then the top tiers have even more perks allotted for last-minute bookings, even lift discounts. Here are the new rules I like that are part of the HGVMax program. Again, I mentioned it in the last slide, but there's no booking fees for reservations less than a week. That's just good, just to know you go on vacation. It's good for cross-country trips in particular, I was thinking, or even regional trips where you might be staying 5 days here and 5 days there, making it more into a California-wide or a U.S.-wide trip that's 2 to 8 weeks or something like that. So I found that no longer having to I better book a week so I can save the $69 or $89 fee and so forth. That it just makes it easier and much more, I think, convenient as an owner. The new tier benefits are really, I don't know, maybe they captivated me, but I really like them. You have a last-minute booking credit each year, and it ranges from, depending on the tier level, from $250 to $1,000 a year. You can purchase one-time credits with no maintenance fees for extra vacations. So you can decide whether you want to upgrade. You can sort of play it for a couple years like you have the next level by buying the one-time credits and say, well, I've used it 3 years in a row, maybe I should upgrade. So that's an interesting approach, and so you can practice being at the next level or at the next, whether you should do it or not. And so I think that's I really like that idea. They have the concept of active searches that other companies have that, but they're going to allow you to sort of have, depending on your level, 1 to 7 active searches. So if you're waiting for Maui to open up and and you have your date and somebody cancels their reservation, you immediately grab it. So that's, I think, a really cool feature to have. And then the one that was totally caught me by surprise, but it's really cool in my opinion. But maybe I'm just a nerd, so it doesn't take a lot to be cool for me. But the annual lift transportation credits range depending on your tier level from 250 to 350. And I think you have to be Premier Plus, so there's only really 2 levels. But the fact that you can get a $250 credit a year to take Uber to your to the airport from your take Lyft from your HGV location to the airport, or from the airport to. So I think that's a really cool benefit. The next thing they mentioned, they talked about the gradual rollout of properties. It's not this big bang of, immediately all of a sudden all the DRI properties would be in the Hilton portfolio. It's primarily, fundamentally they're trying to, raise the level, or at least get consistent level with the current Hilton resorts. So some upgrades are going on. It's as trivial as making sure the sheets and the beds are the standard and those kind of things. So there's just basic upgrades, and I think they're sort of going through a certification process and double checking standards and stuff like that. So it creates a gradual rollout. There's pluses and minuses on this. I take the plus side. I'm not generally an optimist, which just says they're getting the ones to us they can as quick as possible versus waiting 2 years till they upgrade them all before they release any of them. So I think I like the approach, even though of course I would like all of them sooner, but can't do everything all the time. So I think that's an interesting one. First rollout, there's some in Virginia, Arizona, Tennessee, then California, Hawaii come end of the year and into 2023. And there's I'm hoping they're going to publish a list as they get better at doing this. The other thing is the 6-month availability beginning a DRI owner seems to be reasonable, because I actually did book a California resort within the 6-month window myself. So again, I'm going to work on a video on that so that can help both DRI people who aren't familiar with Hilton Grand Vacations and those Hilton Grand Vacations people that aren't familiar. I'll be working on that video, get that out soon. And I was looking at some of the new properties, because I was during my update they actually they have some of the charts, and there's one in particular, Avila Beach, which is down near Pismo Beach, if you're familiar with California, and it was very reasonable. They have a studio that has a full kitchen, and it's only 2,000 points for the week, and that's right on the water. So that was like, wow, that's pretty amazing. That's I think it was the first 6 or first 7 weeks of the year is the low season, so that's the sort of silver pricing. And then the Kauai Resort, which was pretty good, even in the quasi low season, it was 8,500 points for a 2-bedroom, and that's I guess that's a pool view as opposed to the ocean view. But hey, you're in Hawaii. It takes about a 3-minute walk to be out facing the ocean, as opposed to being in your room facing the ocean, and the point value was really worth it to me. I mentioned the availability, the 6-month availability of DRI properties. Again, I'm coming from was a Hilton Grand HGVMax update, so it's coming from the Hilton side. I mentioned I have DRI account, and I have the Hawaii collection, which is Hawaii, California, Arizona, and Utah, and I've been booking a bunch of searches and looking at it, and the 6-month availability other than Hawaii seems to be reasonable. I can't say it's perfect, but it's probably doesn't seem to be any. It seems to be just about the same as what you get with Hilton Grand Vacations. You have to book some of the Hawaii ones probably a little sooner. There's probably still some available, but not a lot. But it seemed to be the Arizona and the California ones, which is what I was looking at, seem to be available. Sedona, again, maybe, I don't know, within 6 months, maybe it's not the peak season, so maybe it's a little tougher in summer. But those are the kind of things I'm working on to provide an update for you. If you can get to the Premier Plus, then you get 10 months availability, and that seemed to be much better. And again, I mentioned I'll do a separate video on that. So I did an upgrade to Premier Plus, and I did it using part resale, but I'll talk about it. So I did that because I wanted a 10-month booking window in the DRI properties, because I've been doing the searches and realizing 6 months is pretty good. 10 months will pretty much, other than maybe Hawaii, I'll pretty much have full access to all the resorts, which that was worth it to me, to have that capability. There's also just more places to stay, so having more points made sense to me. And my level perks, this was amazing. I didn't realize this. My level perks at the Premier Plus are greater than the 1K maintenance fees that I have to pay for the property. So basically, by moving up to the level and paying the money, I now basically got free maintenance on that property because I get a $700 credit for the open season credit, meaning that I can get for every year I can do a last minute deal. Like I think it's pretty close to a 2-bedroom for 3 days in Maui as a last minute special. If you're already on the island, you probably potentially get another 3 days, and that would be effectively complimentary. And then the $250 annual lift credit, so that I can go back and forth from the airport, not needing to have a car. That $250 between that $700 and $250, it's $50 more than my maintenance fees for the resort that I purchased as part of that move to Premier. So basically, I paid the money for the upgrade, but I got free maintenance. So that's the way I look at it. And then there's the other perk of reduced cost to purchase one-time use credits. And I'll probably use that if I have family members traveling with me and I don't want to use my points. I may use the one-time use credits just for that vacation. So I look at that as a way to boost if I don't have points available. So I viewed that as a perk, and I get a much better discount than the other lower tiers. My last topic for the video about my owner update is a topic about the advanced buying resale and then turn it into valid points. So they still allow you to do it. They don't allow you to upgrade them, but they do allow you to, if you buy additional, you can take the units you've got that are resale and turn them into legitimate HGVMax points. So here's the deal. You can buy resale and have it count towards status. You can't upgrade them anymore, but you must buy $25,000 worth of retail price per deed of resale. And you must own some retail ownership. So in other words, if you own all resale, you can't, this is not available to you. But if you own some retail already, and you need to check with the sales rep because I don't have the rules completely memorized, but I was able to do it for myself. So my example, and this is roughly what I did, is I bought 11,200 resale points for about $7,000. And then what I did is I bought at list price the 5,600 point retail for $25,000. So that meant I got a total cost of 16,800 points for a total cost of around $32,000. And these are ballpark numbers. I'm just trying to give you a general sense. And that turns into about $1.90 per point. So that's way below pretty much any deal you could get other than a full resale. But now I have full access. They're fully HGVMax capable. So that's kind of the new rules for buying resale. And I might not have ever upgraded to the next tier if it weren't for this capability. So I think even the salespeople see this as a plus because they get people to buy to get to that next tier. Maybe it's more economical to do it this way, which it is, but maybe otherwise I wouldn't have done it. So that's maybe if I was having to pay 40 or 50K, maybe I wouldn't have done it. But by the fact that I was able to get what I would say just a good deal, I did it. So there you go. There's the current a current understanding of the resale, and you should check with your sales rep to make sure you get the rules just in case they change from time to time. But I was able to do that, and I'm excited about the extra points that I've got and that good deal that I got.